And welcome to the Big T Show. I am Big T, and we are back. I'm going to check my phone again. I always say big boomer alert, but with the episode with James Pontillo and Steve K, I did the sound check, and I don't know how James's mic wasn't on, but we're good. I checked it. I did the sound check, but I'm a big boomer. What the fuck is this? I have you on airplane mode. Stop fucking messaging me. And James's mic was off, man. It's fucking amateur hour. This isn't my forte. Oh my god, how the fuck all these messages coming through? Like again, big boomer alert, big boomer alert. I'm fucking out of it. But yes, shout out to James and Steve K for coming on, watch the movie Ladybugs, and something I always wanted to do was have live action pending. The last day of the NBA season, I was betting through DraftKings, which I normally don't use, but they reached out to me somehow, got my number, and said, "Hey, do you want a VIP account? We'll match up to $3,000." I put money in, I hit. So I was playing with house money with them, and there was no alternate lines. I always say you can never be good at gambling. You can only try to hope better your odds, you know? And I throw FanDuel, you can fucking, there's so many options, lowering everything. You win less money, but you have a better chance of winning. DraftKings, it's straight bets. So I was putting in 5 teamers that paid, I think, fucking 1,000 to 1 or whatever it was. Some obscene number. And some of the parlays paid like 59,000, 52,000, just because I couldn't buy the points and bring it lower. Normally, the parlays I put in pay like 22, 30, because I bring it all the way down as much as I could without making it not affecting the payout that much. Because I'd rather win instead of fucking losing by a couple of points. And we had the Mavericks -6 and 2 parlays, 4 out of 5 that would have paid 112,000. Imagine hitting that on the fucking air. Now that's content, you know. And I put a second one in on the air. I went 4 out of 5 in that one. The Nuggets up 13. I didn't win by 11. They lost to the Lakers outright. But it's called gambling and not winning. It was house money. It is what it is. I'll take that chance any day of the week to be one game twice to win. I could have won close to $200,000. So, you know, you take chances in life. You know, and thanks for James and Steve K to come through. And shout out to the people on the episode before that. I was just talking. It was my dad and cousin's birthday, and I wasn't going deep. I just was talking about life and energy, and people really took to it. And shout out to the people that left comments and messaged me. I was just talking, man. I was just talking about my personal shit, like just the energy in life, and people were related to it. I really appreciate the feedback. Hold on. And checking it out. And like I said, this is a selfish act of me talking to hopefully let me get better at stand-up and everything. And speaking of stand-up, I'm a little tired. First road gigs, we did the DMT tour, Dominic Leonelli, Mike Kerrigan, and Tom Farrell. And shout out to Dom and Mike for taking me on the road. We did Rhode Island a couple of weeks ago. Awesome. And then we just got back from 2 shows. We started in Jersey. Shout out to Mike Laurel, Hijinks Comedy. Cool CBD smoke shop in fucking Red Bank, New Jersey. Beautiful, quaint little town. When you get out of New York, you see these like beautiful little places and like just nice energy and just cool spot, rocking show. They gave Dominic, besides being the headliner and Mike the feature, like these are club comics, you know, and whatever. Yeah, they passed some clubs, and Dominic viral with fucking TikTok. Leonelli Dom. He's like, yo, is your friend on TikTok? Like millions of views. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh man, they wanted to give him a spot. They deserve it from comedy, let alone TikTok. And we rocked out, started the fucking road trip. Awesome, you know. Then we were moving on to Georgia. 2 shows in Georgia, 1 show in South Carolina. And we're like, yo, we'll leave right from there. Thinking we had enough fucking time in the world. Underestimated that fucking drive to fucking Georgia. I've been seeing this fact on TikTok. People think Georgia or Atlanta is like on the East Coast, and it is, but Detroit, Michigan is closer east than Atlanta, Georgia is more west than Detroit, Michigan. You know, it's a little bit of a mind fuck, geographical mind fuck. Like, really? We think Atlanta is East Coast, but it's more west than than Detroit, Michigan, which is just a mindfuck. And if I'm wrong, TikTok got me again, but I believe that's a factoid. Check it out. But I think it was like a 13-hour drive. Like, I mapped it out from, I live in Rockaway, far Rockaway. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people know it as. It's the first fucking, what's that on my neck? I thought I seen something. Oh, it's just the shadow. Far Rockaway, it's the first word, far. You know what I mean? Like, it got me on-campus parking when I went to Kingsborough. Because, like, if you live far away, they give you on-campus parking instead of parking, like, by Manhattan Beach and walking. I hate fucking walking. And I was like, yo, it's fucking Far Rockaway, because sometimes the mail would come up. They would just generalize Rockaway or Breezy Point as Far Rockaway. You know, some out-of-state shit. And I'm, like, bashing it against the Bursar cage. Like, I live far away. Got on-campus parking. I used to bake out the car right outside the T building, just bellowing smoke before class. I love fucking Kingsborough. It was one of my favorite times. Yeah, I had good junior high school and elementary school, but then when we moved to Rockaway, just shit fell off the wagon or some shit. Just the Lean on Me movie that I was living in 180, and then 4 high schools in high school. I didn't have a chance to, like, that high school feel that you see in a movie or reading a book. And that's what Kingsborough was. And it was just fun, man. Hanging out with my friends, smoking weed, not going to class, but it was community college. That's what you do. You smoke weed in the fucking parking lot. But, oh yeah, leaving from Far Rockaway, it was closer to leave from here. I miscalculated from Jersey, 13 hours. And we're driving. For some reason, it was fucking traffic at night. Like, all this construction down south. Like, where am I, in New York? Is this the Van fucking Wyck? What the fuck? I thought I was getting out of that motherfucking bullshit. But we underestimated it. The guy who ran the tour, the DMT tour, is through Dom. He's like, yo, you guys have no time to sleep. And we're doing the math. And I don't know how we miscalculated, because we had a show. We left Wednesday night after the show in Jersey. We had a show Thursday in Marietta, Georgia. And we just miscalculated the time. And Dom's like, yo, we're going to drive as far as we could. We can rest for 4 hours. And we made it to some shithole in Virginia. And I laid down. I was telling him I don't sleep. It must have been like 3 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning. We put our heads down. I couldn't sleep. The bed was squeaking. I'm like, how many hookers were banged on this fucking bed? It was like, hotel beds don't squeak. You know what I mean? It's a motel. And now the sun's coming up. There was a mirror right just directly by the fucking window that was just beaming into my eye. And like the next day, Dom was like laughing. He was just watching me struggle all night as I'm trying to sleep. 20 minutes sleep, no shower. We get up, and like we had Denny's in the middle of the night. Broke my fast. I was pissed off, but the next day I'm like, no, I'm going straight black coffee. And we were against the clock, man. We were getting there an hour before showtime, and that the traffic's never fucking reliable. So I'm doing, and you have to get used to doing 85, 90 miles an hour on these highways, because it's 70 miles. So you're allowed to do 80, basically. You're allowed to go 10 over the limit, unwritten rule of fucking driving. And it takes a while to get used to doing 85, 90. I'm in New York. I'm smoking weed. Why am I speeding? You know what I mean? Like, there's usually no speeding because of fucking traffic. If you get lucky, you might go a little above it. But usually I'm fucking high, and I got shit on me. I don't need my balls busted. Knock on wood. But, we're pushing through. I'm fucking straight black coffee. I have a fucking iron colon because, you know what I mean? Like, not eating anything and just drinking large cups of black coffee. 20 minutes sleep. Exhausted. You know what I mean? We're fucking rushing to get down to fucking Georgia. Just flying through states doing 90 miles an hour. We got there, the She's Moo Winery. We got there like 20 minutes before showtime. We set up. You know what I mean? I'm like, I probably smell like a bag of shit. I haven't showered in like a day and a half now, but this is what I wanted to do. This is going out on the road. And, I even have a joke about, fat people smell, and, girls that blow fat people, you smell them in the supermarket, whatever. And I'm like sitting there like, what a hypocrite. I smell right now, like one of the workers there, like, hey, would you like some kombucha or something non-alcoholic? Because they knew I didn't drink. And I'm like, no, like scurrying away, like, after hearing my joke about fat guys smelling, and then I'm over here stinking like a fucking fat fucks because we miscalculated the fucking 13 hour. You think you can just bang it out. It goes forever, man. But the great ride, man. Fun. You hear all these comics, Mark Norman, Joey Diaz, Rogan, everyone, all these professional made comics, like, about the road gigs and triple runs and being in the car. And and they didn't like mince words, man. It was fucking great, fucking laughing for days. We all know each other. We're all friends. But when you're in the car and you really let your guard down and you're saying certain things and you're like, oh, we're in the nest. You know, we're with fellow comics. We can fucking say these things, you know, and we were just howling, laughing. Things just become a trend on the trip. And like, you know what I mean? I fucking, I ran out of shit to listen to. You know, I had fucking all my podcast and I just spent through everything. And, you know, I put on the fucking Jerky Boys. We were fucking the best of the Jerky Boys. We were howling for that for 2 hours. That became a thing on the trip. Just fucking reciting Jerky Boys shit, fucking with people in the South. There's old Opie and Anthony tapes of they listened to Mel Gibson when he was screaming at his Russian side piece, or that became his girl. And they're a little, you know, it puts Mel Gibson in a bad light, but it's a little hilarious because this guy's fucking mentally unhinged and still working in Hollywood. He said the N-word at one point. You know what I mean? Talked about fucking rape and just, you know what I mean, suck my dick and like it and blow me. He's just out of control, bashing this woman and women in general. I don't even know how. I guess money, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. But we listened to that. We were fucking howling. It was just a fun time. And then once, after the show, went out to the Marietta Diner. It was on fucking Drivers, Diners, and Dives. Cool spot, 24 hours, just awesome food. I think they made homemade rye bread for the fucking Reuben. It was fucking phenomenal. You know, went back to the hotel down the block, smoked, showered, felt good, got a good night's sleep that night. And then we had to hit the road for our second gig. As we're driving, you know, fucking, we're looking at these mountains. I'm like, yo, is that where we're going? It was like 2 hours away from, Marietta's like right outside Atlanta. So it was like very city. And there was as we're driving, I'm like, yo, we're going to this mountain. And yo, in the Pee Wee Herman movie, where the roads are all windy, and he's like going aggressively, like, this is a dated reference, but Big Top, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. If people fucking remember that one, and like, yo, there's no guardrails. We're in the mountains, like video game type turns, like what is it? It's like a racetrack, but on a mountain, but with no guardrails. Super dangerous. We stop at this little like old school gas station hut, like old school pumps, and I seen this smoke in the back. Like, yeah, we boil peanuts. I seen that on a show. I used to smoke a lot of weed and just watch these fucking travel shows, cooking shows, and you know what I mean? I was just doing touristy shit and fucking had boiled peanuts. The guy's like, yeah, just spit them out. The crows will eat them. Like, nice people. Like, I guess they call salt of the earth people, but like they were like buying what I was selling. I was like just being a little bit of a clown. I can't shut the fuck up. And I made a pile of empty peanut seeds at the back of my truck. Dom and Mike, like, I don't think that's what the guy meant about spitting them out. The crows would eat them. But, you know, listen, you telling me how to eat boiled peanuts? You know, I don't know how to do it, but I was just trying to be taking the culture of the Georgia mountains. You know what I mean? And like, it was just cool. This town, it was like Vermont, but like, you know, like certain places, like, oh, this is Vermont 2.0. This is like Vermont half. Like, it was even small town. They had this like big clock tower with a bell that looked like the Back to the Future shit. Like they recorded Back to the Future there, it looked like. And it was just a cool little town. And we had awesome barbecue, grits with Gouda and cheddar. It was just fucking like, one girl recognized Dom from TikTok. It was like something like, I don't know, just listen on podcasts or something out of a movie. It was just awesome. Like, people recognize, even if you just said, oh, we have a comedy show tonight, some people would even just say, oh, yeah, we knew we sort of recognized you. Like, it was so small town. And it was just fucking cool, man. And like, we're in the mountains. It's just, there was like not many little shops. I didn't see any black people. It's a little crazy. But, this place was like in Dirty Dancing, when they're in they have all these cabins at this winery on the hill, and the place was rocking, fucking packed show, fucking just hot crowd, you know, and like, you know, I'm trying to feel them out, you know. I had my little, you know, I seen more Blue Jays than black people. I saw Blue Jays, which were cool. I never seen one in person, and they didn't want to show their hand, almost like I'm giving away the secrets to their town, or they seem like upper white people or some shit, and they don't want to laugh or give in to me because that's like admitting what I'm saying is true. Not in a bad way. It's just that's what the demographic was, you know. And you know, I even brought the weed up. One person raised their hand, but then after the show, a line of old people around my fucking car. It was awesome. Like in Rhode Island, I had cookies left over from a show, and there was these old people lined up. Like, you said you're gonna give us free cookies. Like, all right. And one lady's like, I eat 5 grams. We got crazy the other 5 milligrams. We got crazy the other night. We had 36 of them. I'm like, yo, please just take one bite of my cookie. I need to know how many people I killed in Rhode Island. Like, I haven't heard anything, but they definitely overdid it. Even if they took 2 bites, if you're used to 5 milligrams, you eat one of my cookies, you're getting smacked. You got to remember Big T. But I didn't have any cookies baked. I had some fucking candy, some pre-rolls, people taking my info. Like, hey, do you ship it down here? I'm like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? And fucking, they were just the people that didn't want to raise their hand because they're maybe a little uppity in that town or wherever it was. But it was nice. It was beautiful. I like these little small towns. It's cool just to see. You know, I don't know if I could live there, but just passing through and just the line around my car, the rocking room, we had a little tip bucket. They fucking over tip. It was just a rocking show in this cool little town in the mountains, and like we walked around smoking afterwards at like 10 o'clock. Everything was shut down. You know what I mean? Like there was no one walking around except for us. And it's just cool, man. It was an awesome experience going to that town. And then after Georgia, hold on a minute. I wrote a bunch of notes down just because I'm just very oversensory. I'm finally getting some sleep. I'm back home. I spoil myself with a detachable shower and bidets, and I'm out on the road just like animal style, fucking washcloths and fucking baby wipes like a fucking fat animal slob. How you motherfuckers live, because people are so weird they can't pay $70 for a bidet to clean shit out of their ass. They're still obsessed with, I use baby wipes. Oh, so you moist toilet paper, you fucking idiot. Like it's groundbreaking stuff. But it feels really good to be back home. Like it's a little dirty on the road up to my standards. Like not in a bad way, but just no detachable shower head, no bidet. But I was loving it, man. Then we had to go to South Carolina, and it was Greensville, super small town, and it was a brewery, awesome Reubens. I don't know why I had so many Reubens on the road. Nice people, you know, and it was like old people. Like there was a scene in Kingpin, the classic Eddie, Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid, and they have this hot chick, Miss Claudia, who distracts them as they're hustling people bowling. You know, tits are out, nipples are hard, tight little fucking shorts on, and they're in this middle America trying to get to Reno for this big tournament. And like all these farmers are looking at them like just they're Catholic, or not Catholic, they're Bible, God-fearing people. So the whore isn't getting their attention. Then they bring a sheep in, and the guy blushes and throws a gutter ball. You know what I mean? Like these are the people that remind me of that. Like, you know what I mean? The woman wouldn't get them excited, but a sheep or a cow, you know what I mean? Like a prize cattle would. Nice people. And, you know what I mean? Like, they were into what I was saying, man. Very to the cuff. They weren't like LOLing, but I'm looking around the room. Old ladies. They even thanked me afterwards. One kid said he watched THC TV, even if he didn't. You know, like, they wanted to take a picture with me. They were like, I was nervous. You know, not nervous. It's just, it's an older crowd in the Bible buckle, they said. Not even the belt. We're in the fucking buckle. And, like, there was no Jews in Blaseville, Georgia, because I referenced it. You know, Kira's Jewish. I talk about like I'm half Jewish now, and like it was like foreign to them. Like, Jewish? What the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Like a dated reference or something. And in South Carolina, I get into it also. I'm like, no Jews, back-to-back shows. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm like, well, I'm Catholic, and they look like Catholic people, whatever that means. You know, it looks like someone you might see at church. No hands, no Catholics in the room. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? They're all like Baptists or something, and like they're laughing at me afterwards, like that. You know what I mean? That I went that route and just like, yeah, no Jews here, all cat. Like it's so funny, but like the old people coming up to me after the show, like they were so happy. They were like, "Oh, you are so funny," and I'm like, the shit I talk about made them laugh, and it's like that second show in Blaseville, Georgia, packed room, hot room. That's comedy. That's great, but to go into this small town, the Bible buckle, and crack these fucking older women, Bible-fearing people, and like having them laugh with the shit I say, the shit Mike and Dom says, like that's like a true testament of like comedy and cool people in the world. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're different. Our views are really different. Our accents are really different. Our diet's really different. But laughing's laughing. These are funny fucking jokes. Thanks for being understanding and open to listening and laughing. Like, they were genuinely, like, it was just fucking, it was cool. You know what I mean? It's just, I tell people about it. It's just like, it's sticking with me because they're like, it's what the Bible Belt. You hear about these people all the time, and they were laughing at the shit I say. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking, I just love it, man. I love it. The only bad thing, no gambling down there for whatever fucking reason. I had to call my friend to call it back in, you know, like to one day, and then the next day I was like, know what? Because the NBA playoffs are on. I'm like, know what? Virginia has it. So I tried in the middle of the night after the last gig to drive 31 miles from Virginia when we got a hotel in the middle of the night, just so the next day when we stopped and got gas, I could log in, put some action in. It hit, and we're letting it ride. We have a bomb going tonight. But that's a story for a different day. But yeah, man, I'm loving this road gig. The to and the from, it'll drain the shit out of you. 85, 90 miles. Beautiful country. But like, just, it's a lot. It's a lot of hours in the car. Your sciatic nerve, this fucking, it's a lot, man. But I love it. We have a couple of gigs this weekend. We're going to Cleveland. We'll have what the fuck? We have the Fort Grove 34 420 variety show. I'm hosting with my man Derek Warner. We have Talon Harris leading us off at the top. The guy just got passed at the cellar. Super talented comic. We have an illusionist. We have reaction videos. We have a chat. We have a Baked by Lori 420 baker weed. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking just throw money at her, get the crowd fucking high. We have a challenge. We're gonna I don't know how much money left. We're gonna throw money at people to eat these ghost pepper beans. You know what I mean? They're like super hot. And Derek's gonna eat one, and we're gonna challenge people in the crowd. There's gonna be some comics there. You know, they maybe throw some money at them just for the content. It's a variety show. We have reaction videos. We have a lot of things stored. It's a variety show. It's 420. Hopefully, this is the first of many. And that's tomorrow, actually. And then after that, Mike and Dom are meeting me there, and we're heading out on the road from there straight to Ohio, making as far as we could in the middle of the night. Then Ohio, we're going to Kentucky, and then from Kentucky, we're going to Virginia, and then that's that. We maybe have a show next week upstate, but we're talking it might be too much traveling financially just for one show up by Buffalo. Like we got to think about that. But regardless. The Rhode Island trip this past couple of days ago, and this upcoming weekend, which I'm really looking forward to. Now that I have an idea of how to like attack these miles, like a lot of driving in the middle of the night, some rest, get to the show. I'm really looking forward to it, man. I'm getting received well out there. You know, I know I'm not for everyone, especially big, loud New York accent, but you know, I come in peace, man. I just want to make you laugh, and people are into it across the South and the country, and like I'm really looking forward to it. And like the things I talked about with having some pens, not pens. Hold on, having some pre-rolls and candy and stuff. That's just a little test. Cause I always hear Joey Diaz, or I heard Joey Diaz, Mark Norman. They're selling merch. Like these are people that just heard me that night, and they didn't know Big T, Tom Farrell. They don't know Bake What Your Mama Gave You till they hear my shit. You know what I mean? Like, imagine I can build a fan base, which I plan on. I have big dreams, big plans. Imagine I have a fan base, and they're coming to see me. You know what I mean? They want to eat my edibles. They want to smoke a joint with me afterwards. You know what I mean? The fucking TSA is going to be asking me, how much, where'd I get all this cash from? Don't worry about it. I'm going to be hanging out after the shows, hopefully one day in the future, doing road gigs with boxes of fucking pre-rolls and this and fucking T-shirts, Bake What Your Mama Gave You. It's everywhere. Hold on, right there. You know what I mean? Like, if you come to support me and like my comedy, why wouldn't everything else after the show be even fucking just be the same thing? Because the couple people lining up on my car. The one spot there was a bunch of people. You know what I mean? The bartender in one place. South Carolina, not so much, but that's gonna happen. But there's people that, you know what I mean, just didn't even know who I was, but still wanted a piece of what I was slinging or whatever it was. And like, I'm like, I could see the bigger picture if I can just grow my comedy career. And I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And I'm working on new stuff, doing 15 minutes at the top. I have more, but I'm trying to keep it tight, trying to bring the crowd up for Mike and Dom to fucking slay them. You know, you got to crack them. You got to get them open. Oh, who's this big guy? You know what I mean? New York guys. And, you know, it takes a little while, but I'm up there. I'm cracking them. I'm warming them up, and I'm having fun. And, you know, I can have big plans if this shit does really take off, and like the merch and everything I said afterwards. And I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. I'm just finally catching up on sleep. I don't sleep in general, so I'm like, fuck it. I'll just keep driving. I'm not going to sleep anyway. I'm going to lie in bed, fucking scrolling on fucking TikTok anyway. But I'm looking forward to the variety show tomorrow. And we were driving back, and it had us, there must have been an accident on I-95. It's Easter Sunday. So they had us going through these back roads. We barely touched I-95 from South Carolina to New York. And years ago, my cousin lived in Virginia. And he got in trouble. He was in the Navy, and something with his uncle, who's not related to me. Like, he's my cousin, but that's not, his uncle's not my uncle. And it's his dad's brother, who was a fucking scumbag. I remember when I was a kid, my dad had to kick him down a flight of stairs at my grandma's during Christmas, and lived on the second floor on Bay Parkway. And like that, it was like shatterproof window, you know, so it wasn't glass. He didn't fly out, but I remember leaving and it was broken. My dad kicked him down the stairs, and if it was like regular glass, my dad probably would have been in jail because he would have been dead. But scumbags, and life is crazy, man. Like, shout out to the Ryan Show, fan of the show, friend of the show, friend in life. And Hampton's Dave and Mr. Cheeks and them. Like, I'm going to get into this story and, like, how it unfolded. Like, I was supposed to go there to see at the Tavern Lounge on Jamaica Avenue. It's not there no more because someone got shot. Monday nights, Bobby J from Rockaway was performing there. But I had some business, something that was very important I had to do in Manhattan at the Soho Playhouse. I used to go there on Mondays for an open mic. I had to go talk to someone about something important. And I missed Bobby's show. But then I kept seeing this Ryan show. Every Monday was on Jamaica Avenue, which is right here. You know, it's not that far away. And I eventually went the next week because I'm like, they do comedy there? And I met Ryan for the first time, Hampton's Dave. I'm like, I got some edibles in the car and some tank tops. Boom, relationship, friendship bond. And I would go there. And I'm in this bar. I'm like, I've been in this bar on Jamaica Avenue. You know what I mean? So that's what made me think of this story. And then driving home, I used to win. I used to call up ESPN Radio and win shit all the time. I know I'm jumping around, but it's all going to come together. I used to win shit all the time on ESPN Radio. I'd be like the third caller, sixth caller, ninth caller. I was just in the truck all day long. When I would hear, after this commercial, we're giving away tickets, and I would just have the phone ready, and I would want Nick Home Open is like 3 years in a row. Jet season tickets, I sold them because I hate the Jets. Tiger Woods, golf, Sonny, just everything. I went to like a Black History Month forum at Deion Sanders, Stephen A. Smith, at the just free food. I would win everything. And like there was one time I had to use my brother's name because they changed the policy. You can only win once in every 30 days. And people they heard my brother's name, like, Sean, you won. He's like, he really thought he won. Like, you don't call up. I used your name so I can fucking win 2 prizes within that month. That's how much I was winning. So I had Nick tickets, and I didn't have a car at the time. I think I had my DUI with UPS, so I didn't have my license. So my friend drove me to the city, went to the Nick game, bombed, took all my fucking stuff, and I hopped on the bus. And I took the bus to go see my cousin. He was living it up in Virginia, fucking was in the Navy. He was doing good, really good for himself. And take the bus down. You just got to drive this car back to fucking New York. I'm like, fucking awesome. I did have my license. I didn't have a car. That's what it was. I was living on my aunt's floor. I didn't have the jet. I was taking the bus to work. I still had my license there. I didn't get my DUI yet. That's what it was. So I think nothing of it. You know what I mean? This is before he got in trouble and caught up with his uncle at the time. And I'm taking take these backward roads. Don't take I-95. And I thought they were giving me traffic tips, you know. So I get back to Jamaica Avenue. My cousin's dad I remember he was doing stuff. Cause I must have just got thrown out of my mom's house. I was doing illegal stuff. Now I'm seeing exactly what he's doing. You know, you could see it easily if you know what I mean. Like I'm like, oh, this guy's selling shit, everything up and down Jamaica Avenue, and I remember him just like screaming, yeah, like just making a scene. I'm like, this isn't good. Like when you're slinging shit, you got to be DL, you know. But he had a bunch of like crackhead girls there. I'm living at my aunt's on the floor, so I'm just hanging out. Next thing you know, we're underneath at this bar, which turned out to be the Tavern Lounge. And then like months later, his uncle set my cousin up and did him dirty. And my cousin got in trouble, a lot of stuff. I'm being very vague. But as I was driving back through this back road and seeing the bricks on the wall, I'm like, yo, that car was hot. They set me up with a hot car loaded with, I don't know, ecstasy, coke, guns. Who the fuck knows? Why would they give me a car? And I'm at the Ryan show years later in this same bar that I was at, hanging out after I drove this car all the way through Maryland. Why would you have me take these back roads? Because you didn't want me to get pulled over. You wanted, and if I did, I was going to be fucked. You know what I mean? This guy was a scumbag. He set my cousin up. That car was definitely hot. And I had to drive it back. And we're driving back through these back roads. And I'm looking for the Carl Jr.'s that I stopped at because it was the same road. You know what I mean? Like, it had to be because we were going through Maryland. And I remember going through Maryland. And all the radio stations I had were just like Christian. You know what I mean? It was nothing. That's how back roads they sent me. And then later, a couple months later, what happened to my cousin? And then I'm sitting at the Ryan show that time, looking at the brick facade in that bar. I'm like, yo, this is the same bar I was hanging out with those skells, my cousin's dad and the uncle that set him up that was living in Virginia down by my cousin. Like, that car was hot. And I was talking to the comics, telling them, like, yo, like, you would have been fucked. Whatever was in that car, whatever I say, I had no idea. You took the bus down there. You know what I mean? You had an idea. Like, no, like, I didn't have a car at the time. I'm broke. And I'm just happy to be here with that story. Like, is it 100%? Yo, he set my cousin up. Why would they just give me a car? Why would hindsight, I'm thinking, why would I drive this car back? Like, just like a fucking idiot. Just like, oh, they're nice people. Then later, a couple months later, he sets my cousin up. My cousin gets in trouble like a fucking scumbag. Didn't care about me. I've been facing like 20 years, 10 years. Like, no, I had no idea. Like, I would have to take a lie detector that wouldn't even be admissible in court. It's like, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know who or what I did in life. Like, knock on wood, I had so many chances to get in trouble, even more than I did. And maybe just try to be a nice person. And if you do get in trouble, you know, I don't even know. I can't even explain it, man. I can't explain it. But driving those back roads made me think of that piece of shit car they had me drive back. Why would they give me a car? You know what I mean? And I'm just happy that I didn't get pulled over back then. But one more thing before I head out. Stay tuned. There's gonna be on my Instagram or Facebook. I'm gonna put some clips up. I did the Greg and Rob podcast, the twins. If you've been at my shows, you've seen them because they're fucking hilarious. But their producer used to work with me. You know, you have an idea who it was, and there was some stuff just about property and all this stuff. And a lot of stuff came out on this podcast yesterday that was not sideswipe, but just, you know, you see that logo with my face on it? This scumbag tried helping me. Like, it came out yesterday. And there's going to be more clips. You're going to see it. It got tense and tried saying he's stealing my fucking logo, my face on it. He stole the comedy troupe that me and him were doing together, even though I was paying for everything, getting the venues, getting this. Like, he was just, like, we had to fall it out. And I had to find out through Facebook that this is before the falling out, that he stole the website. Like, oh, that was his, he's saying. That was his. But then he's like, oh, I own Bake What Your Mama Gave You because it was my IP address. Real scumbag shit. Tiger Soche, people pretending to be retarded when I'm not. That's why I always treated them normal, because I really don't believe people are that retarded, except for like really retarded people, not this on the spectrum bullshit, because it's all bullshit. I'm on the spectrum. You know, like, I'm sensory. You know, it's just different versions of it. And it's going to come out. You're going to see. It was very tense. It was recorded yesterday. It'll be out next week. You'll see more what I'm talking about. But a lot of scumbags in this fucking world. And people take care of you. I mean, you take care of people. You know what I mean? Like, and he's a pathological liar. Like, oh, when was the last time you went to Peter Luger? I would take him to Peter Luger's. We went in March. Like, your family doesn't even like you. You're disgusting. You're an animal. But that's me just venting about something. It was one of my last notes. You'll stay tuned. You'll see more once these tapes came out. Just real scumbag shit. Real scumbag. It shows the world that there's plenty of scumbags. Nice, like, regardless of your mental capacity. You know what I mean? But, fuck, man, I had something else to say. Nah, listen, I'm going to end on that. Listen, it was just this show was just me just super excited about this road trip I just went on, the first road gigs. And I hope there's many more. I had a blast. I'm just still a little tired. I just have a lot of work to do between now and tomorrow night. I have I have to make some edibles. Just a lot of stuff. I got to get fucking car wash, probably like 9 of them. The bugs, I don't know what they're feeding these bugs. They hit off the windshield, and the windshield wiper don't get it off. I had a power washer in fucking Marietta, Georgia, like this close to the fucking windshield. The bug shit just doesn't come off. So I got to get a car wash, oil change. I'm racking up miles. But I'm doing what I love, man. This is what I want to do. I love making people laugh and just getting out of my comfort zone, New York, people I know, and just rocking out in the South and Middle America and, see what's out there, man. It's getting to see the country also. It's pretty cool. And, listen, if you have anything, it took me, stop drinking and a bunch of other shit, however it happened, But if you have any passions or, whatever you like to do, go out there and chase them, man. We don't get that much chance at this life, and, do what you love. Fucking, they don't teach you in school to do what you love. They don't teach you get a job close to your home because they're traveling and not doing what you love. I know I'm traveling for the road, but I mean, like, just driving to Manhattan for a fucking finance gig. Like, you love finances that much that you take an hour and 20 train ride back and forth each day at weird times, So try to do what you love. Get out there and, make it happen, man. We get one shot at this life. And I'm just fortunate, man. I'm very fortunate, and the life I lead is priceless, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it, and just fucking try to fucking live your life and love it also, man. And listen, thank you for watching. It's another selfish act of me talking, but I feel good. I gotta go make some edibles, get a car wash, and return some videotapes. But listen, there's been another episode of the Big T Show. Remember, be the person you are when you're high. See you next week.